Hey everybody, Mah-Dry-Bread here, and I feel like playing some Civilization 5 Brave New World today, mostly because it's only 2 or so more weeks from the time I'm recording this until Civilization 6 comes out, and I'm pumped for it, so I thought I want to play a bunch of Civ 5 on the channel. And today I feel like playing as Babylon. My kind of rough plan for this is going to be playing as Babylon, start small, build tall, but you always end up with a lot of happiness near the end, so if things go as planned, I want to have completely superfluous wars. Basically my plan is, even though I could probably sit back, bribe people to go to war with each other, and just go to about 2 or 3 cities and beat the game through science, I want to end up conquering basically everything I can for the sake of it. I want to see if I can get such a lead that I can turn it around and get a military victory when I wasn't going for that the majority of the game. So we're going to see if that's possible. So I'm playing as Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar. I get Great Scientists 50% faster, which is huge. You also get a free one at writing, which is very early to help make you an early tech leader, although you do start behind the computer by quite a bit on Emperor difficulty. We have Walls of Babylon, which replaces our walls. They give you much more health in your city. This actually lasts the entire game and is relevant the entire game, because your cities will have a higher maximum health than other people's will. It is only useful if you're fighting a defensive war, really. However, it is decent as a deterrent to keep people from wanting to declare war on you. We also have bowmen, which are extra good archers for early on. Again, it's just another thing to keep you from getting conquered early, because you are kind of the hot target early on as the early science leader. So we're likely not going to be using bowmen offensively at all, either than, have them roam around and get rid of barbarians to keep the place safe for us and for our trade routes. We're on a regular continents map, standard size. We're on Emperor difficulty, which is 6 of 8. Usually I play Immortal, but because I'm going for kind of a weird build here, I'm not quite comfortable doing this on Immortal yet. Who knows, before Civ 6 comes out, I might do another playthrough on Immortal. And Epic game pace, because on Epic speed, it's a little bit more viable to do military activity on slower game paces, because although it's slowing down the game pace will change how long it takes to get different things, it doesn't slow down the travel speed of your units, so essentially wars last longer on the same few units. That also means that a unit will stay relevant a lot longer. This means your unique unit is usually a lot more dangerous. You know, if Rome is really, really dangerous in the classical era because they have ballistas and legionnaires, well, essentially the classic era lasts a lot longer and you have more turns to use those units and press your advantage. Now this is a disadvantage for us in general, because we're not really going to be offensively using our bowmen. We're not going to be ready for a major offensive war yet at that point. So it's mostly a negative to us, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's get started. Alright, here we are in the map, and I can already see that we might have a little bit of a good start. Okay, first of all, we're on a hill tile here, so we'll have extra production in our city. We'll have 1 extra production every single turn without using a population to work it, which only really matters in the early game, but it's gonna be nice to get things up quickly. We are adjacent to mountains, which means we can get an observatory in our capital, which means National College and our observatory are going to be in the same city, which means crazy science. We have 2 wheat tiles, which is going to be worth a lot of food. We have a sheep tile that's pretty good, although, well, it's on a hill, but it's almost always on a hill. We have gold. I'm happy about that. We're going to have truffles later, which is just kind of okay. It's a luxury. We're on a river. Does this tile itself count as on the river, or is it too far? It counts as on a river. Okay, so we've got fresh water. This is really good. We've got fresh water. We can get a water wheel, so we can get more food and more production early on. Let's open up our research info. This is going to be really good. I'm happy with this. So let's found on place. Always put on production focus first. If you watch other videos, you may already know this, but production focus, the way the turn timer works is the last thing it processes in a turn is the production. At least that's my understanding of it. Basically what I'm saying is, when your population increases while you're ending your turn, the production of whatever you're working on will get worked after the population pops. So by putting it on population, or rather production focus, my next population is born, they would immediately go to probably the gold, and they would get me 2 hammers towards whatever I'm building, instead of the 1 hammer they'd get elsewhere. And then I can just manually tell them to do something else, so no food or gold is lost. It's weird, it's almost borderline an exploit, but it's just kind of how the game works. Let's go scout monument. I used to not bother with the monument early on, but now that they changed tradition so that legalism's farther down the road, I might as well get our monument. Alright, so we have bison over there, but that's too far away. Oh, you'll notice that the graphics look a little different. I just have the better UI mod on. It doesn't change gameplay or anything. So we're going to immediately beeline writing. That's kind of what you always do as Babylon. Pottery is really good. I tend to go pottery first unless I really need something else anyway. So right now we're just kind of trying to get goodie huts and find areas. Free tech, we got free mining. That's always good. I always appreciate free technology. And mining's useful because we do have gold. So that's one of our working techs done. We have salt over here. Okay, I want to scout this area and see where I want to put a city over there because salt is an amazing tile. We have Lake Victoria here. Oh my god. Okay, a city right here maybe? Has Lake Victoria. It's got the river. It's got the salt. Oh my god, this is a good start. I don't like the barbarians here, but you know, I'll take care of that. More salt. Ooh. Oh god, and marble, that's hard to decide. Hi, Korea. So we met Korea already. They're our science competition. They're the other major scientific civ of the game. So I think they have a higher science potential than us, but if the AI is gonna responsibly do that, I don't know. They don't play too smart. We have the Songhai, so they're kind of warmongers. They like their military and everything, but they also don't like warmongers. It's a strange situation with them. But we can probably bribe them into doing some wars for us reasonably easily. So our scouts are now our unique bowmen. We found their capital. Oh, they're going to be trying to fight with us over this salt, aren't they? That's not good. I'm going to have to get that early. They got salt up there as well. The luxury of salt is good. I mean, every luxury is the same, kind of. But the tile itself of salt is very powerful. Alright, so we're going to have a lot of production early. We're going to really need to get some farms up, though, to keep our city growth going, because population's important. As you can see here, we actually have the highest population, but these numbers are subject to massively changing quickly. Because we're in the super, super early game right now. Alright, we have a good amount of exploration done here. I can only assume Korea's down there somewhere. We have our pottery done. Sorry, I shouldn't be skipping through that too much. We have pottery done, and we will be getting a granary reasonably early. I really want population growth. Oh, we need to go get that city-state over there marked off. Okay, I don't like being so close to the tundra. Looks like we're going to get even more wheat in our borders at some point. Now, normally I do a shrine first, get my early pantheon, but I'm going to do granary right now just because we have wheat, and it will increase the food on the wheat as well, making those tiles more valuable to me. Barbarians up north, good to know. Alright, we really need to keep the growth of the city going. Okay, we're the first ones to meet Kathmandu, I'm happy with that. I don't really want to fight on their turf. Go, killed a barbarian near Kathmandu. In fact, I'm going to pledge to protect you, and they'll probably give me a quest to take care of some more barbarians in the area, and that'll make me an early ally of theirs, which I'm happy with. Hey, if you're willing to give me gold for an embassy, I'm cool with it. Okay. I want to explore down here a bit. I want to see what Korea's doing. I could just wait for writing and get an embassy back with them to see where the capital is, but for now I'm happy taking gold from them. They're willing to look at where my capital is and give me gold in return. That's 30 gold over 30 turns, or actually no, it would be more because the speed is lowered, so good amount of gold. Although the value of gold does change from speed to speed. Okay, so I want to get tradition. The opening bonus to tradition is our capital gets 3 extra culture a turn. So we're now getting 6 a turn. Our borders are going to be growing much faster in Babylon, which I appreciate. I really want to snatch up some land. I guess I'll go barrage for rough terrain damage bonus to keep fighting them. And the kill will probably be stolen by their scout if they're smart. And they're not smart. Okay. Well, there's wheat and there's truffles, so this spot isn't bad. It's also got fish and cattle, so that's not a bad area. I'll have to consider that one. Babylon's borders grew to just get a random tile I'm not particularly interested in. Gold and wheat down here. This is an interesting map. A lot less crowded than the maps I usually get. It's actually one complaint I have with the map generation, Civilization 5 in general. I tend to get very crowded maps. Alright, so someone's already met you. And it's probably Korea. Someone's already done Desert Folklore. Songhai did it. Did they even have desert? I mean, they have desert, but unless they have a floodplain I haven't seen, I don't know why they'd take it. But Desert Folklore is generally considered probably the most powerful pantheon in terms of generating faith. You can get a lot of faith out of that if you have a floodplain. I will accept his friendship request right now, because he is the biggest warmongerer that we know of at the moment, even though we don't know many people. And I would rather him not attack me. He could always still backstab me, but, you know. Anyway, we're going to be growing in 2 turns now. You can see there's an extra 1 food on each one of those wheat tiles, and we're also getting 2 food just for having a granary. So we just increased our food per turn by 4, and we're getting 6. So we tripled our food per turn by building that granary, which I think is very much worth it. And I'm going to start working on... I kind of want to just start on a worker, because we can upgrade these tiles right away. I'm really neglecting my shrine, which I'd like to have. Okay, so we just met Pachacuti of the Inca. Mixed on how I feel about that. So Pachacuti is a really fun team to play. There we go. That's probably the capital. Mixed on how I feel about it. Here's the thing. Inca are very fun to play. They have a lot of cool abilities for making money. Like, their movement in hills is doubled, I believe it is. And they don't pay for road maintenance if it's in hills, which is a surprising amount of tiles if you're careful. Let's grab the sheep. And we're going to go ahead and go straight for oligarchy. It doesn't really help us much right now. You pay no maintenance cost for units in cities. And garrison units gain 50% ranged combat strength. Really, I just want to work my way down the line. But you save a little bit of money over long term with it, if you have an army. Pachacuti, though, his main threat of Pachacuti, and we're going to go ahead and build an academy there. I highly recommend you only build academies. You don't use them for immediate science unless you immediately need something desperately, or if you're already in, like, the information era, like, really far in the game. So I'm actually going to drop 1 production and take 8 extra science because it more than doubles our science. And we're currently pretty close to last place in terms of literacy. Literacy is calculated in how many technologies each person owns, not necessarily your rate of science. So I can catch up in that. And the next technology, I'm illiterate, I want, is probably animal husbandry, so I can get more worker tech done there, and so I can also find horses. Anyway, Pachacuti, his scary thing is that they have a unique tile improvement where they can put farms on hills that are really, really strong. In fact, it gives them a bonus if the hill is next to a mountain. Like, a hill right here would give them 3 food. Actually, no, with freshwater and with civil service, this tile for them would be 4 food, 2 production. That's incredible. They have enormous population potential because of that. And it also incentivizes them to go near mountains, which usually means observatories, which means very strong science. So they're one you've got to keep an eye on. I would like trade routes fairly early on. No one's met Monaco yet, apparently. I would like trade routes early on, actually, with the Songhai, entirely because the AI start off with a few technologies on this difficulty. And because of that, I would be getting a lot more science from them than they'd be getting from me if I were to trade with them. I want that early science, which actually makes an early sailing appealing just to establish an additional trade route. But I don't think I need it quite yet. I'm actually tempted. We have horses over there, and we'll have that eventually. And over here. I'm actually tempted to go an early bronze working just to reveal iron, to find even more stuff that makes us decide where to settle. So I'll go with that. Normally when I'm around 4 food is when I like to make my first settler. We just got a bunch of faith, so we'll probably get a pantheon next turn. Border grown. There we go. Perfect. So next population, we have the sheep and we have the horses. So we have a lot of things to pick from. And we can now pick our pantheon. So we're not really going to be playing a religious game, so it's likely our pantheon is going to be taken over at some point. So I'm not overly concerned with taking something I think will like pay off in the long run. So the most appealing things to me right now, I forget, is there one that gives you anything for wheat? Here we go. Extra food from wheat, sun god. That gives us 2 extra food a turn in Babylon. It'll give us 3 extra food a turn once we get that wheat, but that'll be a while. Other tempting things would be God King is always tempting if you think you're definitely losing your capital's religion at some point, or if you're just not founding a religion. Fertility rights is tempting because growth rate. However, I think it'll actually pay off more to get Sun God because I can pretty much guarantee we are losing our Pantheon at some point. And fertility rates would pay off in the long run, but I think Sun God's going to pay off more immediately. That's what we need. So we're going to grow in 2 turns. Still 2 turns. Okay. We're going to be getting a lot of food from those tiles, especially that one, because that one's freshwater. So once we get civil service, that'll have another food bonus on it. I'm kind of wanting to work some of my units back up to my city now to protect the worker when he comes out. All right, Babylon grew. Let's manually lock that on our sheep. Hi, Genghis Khan. Oh, you have no idea how happy I am that you're here. Where's your capital? You are not far. Sweet. I've got 2 warmongers to leverage against my enemies. I really hope he doesn't attack the Science Academy. Oh, geez, I hope he doesn't attack the Science Academy. And I think he will. I'm tempted to get a warrior. Because my guys are still kind of far away. No, it's not worth it. Alright, I don't need the happiness quite yet, so I'm going to start on a farm here. But I don't want him to knock out my Science Academy because that's kind of what I'm leveraging for my strength early game. Oh, he's aiming for it. Would you get out of my way? That warrior's really slowing me down. Okay, good, we killed him before he could do anything. Okay, our next technology we want, so we found iron over there, which makes this area more tempting once again. I really need to get a settler out, because a lot of people are over here who are going to be gunning for a spot that good. Archery is tempting, it's my unique unit, and archers in general are pretty nice for taking care of barbarians. We have no other worker techs we need immediately, although wouldn't hurt to get trapping so we can get a camp on those truffles as soon as it's in our border. So I think I am gonna go archery. I could also go philosophy as soon as I can by going through calendar and try and get a really, wow, this barbarian. Try and get a really early national college. The rule of thumb is you want a national college before turn 100 on standard speed. I am on a slower speed than standard. So I can wait a little longer. Okay, so he's probably going to keep me from working that tile, isn't he? Yep, he's trying to slow me down. I'm not concerned, though, because I get the choke point of my actual city there, and he's not a threat to my city. Wow, they're doing a really good job at slowing me down. I gotta give them kudos. Alright, legalism, so that provides a free culture building in your first 4 cities. Because we already have a monument here, this will mean that Babylon will get a free amphitheater once I'm able to get that. But my other cities I found will have a free monument instead, which is really nice to keep the border growth going from the very beginning. Archery is done, so we have access to our unique unit, and that'll get us towards the wheel, which is very tempting, the watermill. I think I'm actually going to go for that now. And then I'm going to start going towards philosophy and switch to trapping if I... You know what? I'm going to need trapping by then because my population growth is so strong. I'm happy with that. So wheel, trapping, calendar, philosophy. and we'll switch partway through there if something comes up that we need to deal with. Borders have grown to a tile I don't care about. And we're just continuing to scout a little bit as we start running back to secure the area. Just kind of getting an eye out for what kind of resources our competition might be taking. It's a good thing to keep an eye on. I also really want to kill the barbarian camps around my base, so I'm not dealing with these barbarians constantly. This right here is tempting. Let me bring up the grid here with the G key. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'd need to go one closer down here if I wanted the extra food, and I do. If I were to settle right here, we'd get both salts, we'd get deer, we'd get iron. 1, 2, 3. Or rather, 1, 2, 3, yeah. So we'd also get cattle. Wouldn't get the bison. That's a shame. Wouldn't get the horses. We could have our other city be up here somewhere. And I also wouldn't mind this area. So we might actually make 4 cities. But for now, this tile is looking the most appealing to me. Okay, our food is great. I probably want to get that gold now so I can just make sure that my city keeps growing. Looks like someone else took care of that barbarian encampment, which I appreciate quite a bit. And for every once in a while, it just forgets you have citizen management open. Alright, the food isn't as high as I'd like on my other tiles, just because we have a lot of plains here. However, my production's great, and those 2 food tiles I have that are really good are really, really good. Alright, I'll have them on alert and just defend the area for now. I am really worried about someone else coming in and snatching things up. And I'd like to get my settler... You know what? It's tempting to hold off on the settler longer, but I think I do need it now because everyone else is going to already be making a settler. I'm probably going to be the last guy to make a second city. Wow, these barbarians are really boxing me in. I could have had my guy back home so much longer ago. Let's take this opportunity to make friends with Kathmandu. So we're actually getting a little bit of use out of our bowmen here, which is cool. There we go. Kathmandu's not even friendly with us yet, which is a shame.
Even brute people.
Alright, we're gonna have to heal a little bit. And yes! Switch to that, because that's more food. Actually, what saves us a turn here? Neither one. Okay. Because it combines your food and your production when making settlers, I believe. I know it does in 4. In 5, I don't know what the exact ratio is. Food might be worth less. Ah, he took the good city spot. Okay. Up here is the next most appealing one to me. So he's probably talking about that barbarian encampment when he tells me to go kill one. Okay, that guy can't charge me. Just keep an eye out. I don't want to lose my only worker. Okay. So he's coming at me. I'm gonna back off and work on some sheep over here while I wait. Didn't get to finish the mine yet, but luckily it's not super important to immediately get it done. I'm already the tech leader in the game, which is totally normal for Babylon. Normally on this difficulty, you kind of fight your way up the tech ranking a little bit early on, but as Babylon, it's strange when you're not the tech leader. If you're not the tech leader, that probably means that you wasted your great scientist, and you're slowly climbing your way back up to that. Another very appealing thing for us is to get any world wonder that gives us great scientist points. And see, like the Great Library, although on this difficulty I don't go for it because they tend to beat you to it. It's a highly sought after wonder. However, an early university does mean you can start getting those great scientists out a lot faster. Let's see here. Do we have any other wonders that really jump over great scientist points? Here we go. The Oracle. The Oracle, great wonder. It's a free social policy. And it also gives you... Alright, we should send our guys up there to take care of this. And we'll send our settler as we go. Fishing boat production from Korea. Not a bad one if you have a lot of fishing spots. And we'll get started on our watermill. keep the food going, keep the production going. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked a little bit. So the Oracle, free social policy, which is always very nice. I'm just gonna heal there. Being a little bit risky here, but I'll be fine because I can get there next turn. I don't like hand axes. They have a melee range ranged attack. So I'm actually playing a little bit risky with my people, and I probably shouldn't. There we go. We have our tile. Ooh, they do not have good growth early on. And we are in unhappiness a little bit. Until we can get that gold mine up. Want a library as soon as possible so I can get a national college in my capital. Anyway. Okay. Gonna nope out of there. I should have healed, actually. That was really stupid of me. I probably lost that warrior if they just pursue it and throw hand axes. Oh, that was such a bad decision. I don't know why I did that. Or I shouldn't have done that attack either. I should have healed that turn because he already has as much experience as he can get from this whole situation. All right. So what I was saying before, I get great scientist points for the Oracle, and I get a free social policy, which means that's a very appealing wonder for me. I tend to not really go for wonders very often, unless it's something like the Hanging Gardens. But that one I might make an exception for. I'd also like Masonry reasonably soon, because that'll let me dig up this marsh and get more food out of this tile. But for now... Actually, no, I believe clearing a marsh after the camp's on it will ruin it, which is really stupid. So until then, I'm going to work on a farm. Hi, Milan. Policy, and we can now get landed elite, which massively increases growth in the capital once again. We could kind of use the happiness of monarchy, but I think we'll be okay. We have 35 more turns until we can get monarchy, so we need to keep our happiness passable until then to keep the growth going. We finished our watermill, so our production and food is up. Once again, we have one turn until a new person is born. I'm tempted to get another worker now, but another bowman also wouldn't be a bad idea. So I think I'm actually going to side with a bowman here. It wouldn't take long to make, and we do need a little bit more military walking around. For the sake of safety. And I'd rather take the food. One more food, one less production there. I'd also really like another worker soon. Because remember, I could with one worker get all this stuff done in not super long. However, my borders are always growing pretty quickly. And the more workers you have, the sooner you get things done. And that means the longer over the course of the game that you're utilizing all of these great tiles. Okay, abandon that farm immediately, go make a pasture because it's more important. We're also getting bonus culture from Milan now, which is very nice because that means we can get to monarchy even faster and we could really use the money and the happiness from that. Okay, we have that. Let's keep the growth going. We have our bowmen in Babylon done. We'll just keep them there. Because in Babylon, we don't need to pay the maintenance cost for it. Get another worker. I'd really like to start on the Oracle, but I think we need the worker more. I don't want to hurt my entire economy on the off chance that, hey, maybe I'll get this other thing, you know? Okay, so we're at 0 happiness. The next time we grow, which will be in Babylon, it'll be growing into unhappiness. Backing off my worker there to be protected. Good thing I have that bowman over there to help with this. Oops, that was a misclick. Go there, there we go. And because he can't move 2 tiles adjacent to another one of my people, I can have my workers start working on cattle again soon. If I had been more careful with that, I could have actually just had him save a turn on it. But unfortunately, I am stupid. Okay, Milan is always going to be a terrible city. It's so far in tundra. We just finished our masonry, so we can dig up the marsh. And my gut is telling me that horseback riding's not a bad idea, because we do have 3 stables we're going to have, or rather 3 pastures here, which will get 1 extra production from a stable, and 3 extra production is what I get total, which is pretty good this early on. We also have cattle up here. So stables wouldn't be bad, and that does lead me towards civil service, which is a very nice technology. Drama and poetry early for an early writers guild, and there are free amphitheater, never hurts. National epic's awesome, I'll be making that a little bit later. And I do want a beeline education. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take horseback riding, drama and poetry, civil service. Oh, right, but that also requires I go through currency and whatnot. Okay. I am still happy with this path for now. We may change it on the fly, depending on how our trade routes are looking mostly. We've grown into unhappiness, so growth rate will tank now, so I'll leave him on that production, because we're not going to be growing anytime soon anyway. Might as well get the extra gold and the extra production out of it to get that worker done faster. I'll send the worker straight to go get the truffles. Cathamandu desires a trade route. I would happily do that. I'd also like that bison soon, which looks like it's a high priority for the growth of the city, which is important to me, because bison's another luxury, gives us another 4 happiness. We have our extra workers down there. And I'm actually going to start on the Oracle. No, Cathamandu would give me faith. And they might give me whales, too. I'm going to do the caravan. It'll probably get raided by barbarians at some point, which I'm not thrilled with. But I'm going to do it. I might actually lose out on the Oracle because of this. But I'd rather go with the safe bonus than the risky big bonus. You know what I mean? Even though those great scientist points are really going to add up over the course of the game with my bonuses and whatnot. So Akkad demands spices, and Babylon demands salt. He's only got 1 salt right now, so he won't trade for it. If you give in to the demands of the people, you have a big boost in growth temporarily, which would be very nice in Babylon, who already has insane growth. Alright, we have extra production in Akkad, who desperately needs it. They're building quite slowly. And we're now working on drama and poetry to get that free amphitheater. And a writing guild would be very nice early on. We also have that awesome, awesome tile there of the bison, which I'm going to be gunning to get next, because I want that luxury. Makes my people happy. So if we trade to Timbuktu, they actually get more science than I do. Yeah, trade with Cathamandu. It's close, so it's not too hard to protect. We can hope for the best. Hopefully that place is taken care of by now. And next turn, they'll really like me for doing that trade route, and I'll likely be friends with them. We're going to go try for the Oracle. Let's not get our hopes up too much, but we're going to try for it. And we're going to get a little bit of gold for that trade route. Not really much at all. I would like a coastal city at some point. There we go, we're now friends with them. And they're not giving us whales, which is unfortunate, but hey, at least we're friends. I think we're off to a very strong start. I am a little bit worried about enemy military activity because they do know that we have the weakest military, and Genghis Khan has the strongest at the moment. He's not far away. We don't really have a bargaining chip right now, which actually worries me because I want to get the war to all the world. I want to get the world. Sorry, I'm illiterate. I want to get the world to all go to war with each other. But until I have bargaining chips, that's not happening. I don't really have money to throw around, and I don't have spare luxury resources to throw around. So there's really not much I can do without, you know, really tanking into unhappiness by giving away the last of some luxuries. Stonehenge was built far away. That's fine, I don't really care about that. We're now in happiness. You can see our cities are growing much faster now. And we'll have that bison done soon, too, to keep us happy. And, yeah, let's start on some pastures there to keep our production rising. Akkad's gonna grow. I really wish Akkad didn't slow down from the unhappiness so much. And here we go, monarchy. We now have plenty of headroom on our happiness, and we'll have even more when the bison are done, so I'm actually pretty safe now. We're also making more money. We're in a solid net positive for this early in the game, so I'm not really concerned anymore about our finances. Looks like our trader is coming back. Okay, so the trader must be reasonably safe at the moment. Losing grasp on Milan. We almost have the money to gift to them if we really wanted to, but I don't think I care that much. 8 more turns until border growth. Can't wait till they get that iron. That's going to be a good tile. There we go. We have the bison done for even more production there, and happiness. Alright. No happiness, but we have bison. Is this not accurate? I wonder if my overlay thing actually messed up, and it's not calculating that. Whatever, we'll go get the spare truffles as a bargaining chip.
What is
Expiration of the friendship deal. I want to try and get that again. Happy to accept. Okay. I don't think he'll backstab us. It's not a risk I want to take, though. Does he already have bison? He might already have bison. You? I can't trade away bison. And yet I clearly have that bison. That's really weird. I'm gonna go ahead and say possibly a glitch. I've never had a glitch like that happen in this game. Usually any glitches I get are weird little visual ones. Okay, Babylon just got another incredible food yield tile, which I'm very happy with. Didn't think we'd be getting that wheat so early on, and it's almost a good time to end the first episode, but let's go a few more turns. If there's any episode you want to run long, it's the first episode, because people watching might want to decide whether they want to subscribe or keep watching or not. I will have a playlist in the description of this video if you want to watch more. Alright, we have that tile, so let's switch. Oh, we already have that one. Okay. Huh. I've really got all the tiles that I really like marked off already. Religion founded Islam in Gao. Okay. I think I don't really need the money. Yeah, I'll take the production for now then. See if I can get the Oracle done. Oh, we'll do this episode at least until we know what's going on with the Oracle. Okay, so we have that iron tile there to get a whole bunch of production every single time I get population growth. And how much iron is that again? That's 6. I can use that as a bargaining chip. That's going to be good. Those warmongers, they really like their strategic resources. 4 horses, 2 horses. We'll have that 4 as well. So we actually have some bargaining chips now. So I want you to go to war with Genghis Khan. Okay. I don't want any of my horses. No. Okay. Let's try and work our way up. I don't think I have quite enough. 7? He won't even take all my gold per turn. I don't want to give up happiness. I want to keep growing. Ooh. Alright. Your price is too steep. And let's try it with this, but for less, because I'm less concerned about them. Nope, okay. Hey, Genghis Khan. Will you go to war with him? No. No. Oh, that's dirt cheap. Do it. Alright, we've started our first war. As you can see there, Mongolia and Korea are at war with each other now. Now, my goal is to always have every country but my own country in at least one war, so that they're always putting their production into military stuff instead of economy stuff, so I can end up really taking a lead ahead of them. Alright, we have that marsh dealt with. And we can finally start on a camp there to get some spare truffles to use as a bargaining chip. We're 1 turn away from the Oracle. I think we're actually going to get this. I'd really like theology soon, actually, entirely because I want a garden in Babylon. So we got it. We got our free social policy. I'm going to use my free social policy just on aristocracy. Because it gives us happiness, which is not a big deal. It gives us wonder building, which is not a big deal, but mostly because we completed the whole tree. 15% extra growth rate in the first 4 cities and a free aqueduct. which is incredibly powerful, and we can use faith to buy great engineers in the industrial era, which we will probably end up doing. We can build a circus here for 2 free happiness, which doesn't hurt. It's free, there's no upkeep. Hanging Garden does also provide a free garden, so we'd be getting great people faster without having to build our own garden. Writers Guild is nice early on to start accumulating our points towards our social policies as well as our tourism. There are a lot of things we could really use right now, but I think I want the Hanging Gardens. What I'm going to do here is look, has anyone else here... Okay, so he did piety, 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 and honor. Okay. Piety's pretty much crap in general as a tradition, either than for making money, because the bonus for money from temples is quite powerful, and it's also a pretty good... Piety's good to go if you're Sweden too, because you can use the Reformation bonus to buy any great person you want from faith, and they can potentially have a very strong late game from that. In general, piety's not a great idea, especially if someone else is already going piety, and honor is pure military. I would be afraid if someone else took tradition, which is a very strong opener. And you can also mix tradition a little with liberty and do some cool stuff with that. But not terribly threatened by the policy choices these people have made, saying that no one I've met can start building the Hanging Gardens. I think I can safely get this, and that gives me another 6 food a turn in Babylon. A place is already getting 12.5 food a turn, only about 112 turns into the game. As soon as the library is done and Hanging Gardens is done, we're going to start at the National College to skyrocket our science rate once again. We are still the tech leader. We're also the leader for gold per turn, production per turn, food per turn. We have the highest population country in the world. We have the 3rd most land, but we have the 2nd least happiness, and we have the least soldiers. Strong start to the game, but we're Babylon. This is what we expect. Babylon usually has a very powerful start. Thank you, everybody, for watching this video. If you want to watch more, I'll have a playlist on screen and in the description where you can watch more. If you enjoyed this video, then consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe subscribing if you want to see more games like this. I cannot wait to play the crap out of Civilization 6 when it comes out. Wasn't given a pre-release copy, unfortunately. I'm not on the list of elites for that. But whatever, I'll have a ton of fun with it when it comes out, especially over on my Hitbox TV stream. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.